Our musical guest this week is Paul Moeller of the Baltimore Classical Guitar Society. Welcome, Paul.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
First of all, what is classical guitar?
The main distinction I would make is that it has nylon strings, and which gives it sort of a warmer tone, and that it's totally symmetrical, unlike a lot of acoustic guitars that have an oblong shape.
How do you select the music that you play?
There is a standard classical guitar repertoire, mostly established by the famous Spanish guitarist Andres Segovia in the 20th century. But today there's a lot of music being written for the instrument by wonderful contemporary composers, and there's a very rich repertoire in the 20th century. So I would say the bulk of it is there.
Briefly, how do you describe the music?
I would say the main distinction between classical and, say, rock or even some jazz solo guitar playing is more polyphony in the lines. There will be two or three lines going on. It's almost pianistic, where you can have different things going on, particularly in the right hand, different shadings and textures and harmonies.
Can you give us a sample?
Sure.
Who are you going to play?
In this piece I'm going to play, it's an excerpt from Capricho Arabe by Francisco Tarrega.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
How did you know this was the type of music that was for you?
Well, for me, it was kind of a journey. I started out like most 13-year-olds, playing some rock guitar and playing it because I noticed a lot of girls were around rock bands, and I got into it that way, which led me to jazz guitar, which led me to classical music, and finally, I found that I had most aptitude for classical music and classical guitar, and I felt it challenged me most.
And also, quickly, you play with your wife?
Yes, my wife, Moeller, is a wonderful cellist in the area, and we have a unique duo, which is cello and guitar.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you enjoyed Paul's music, you have a chance to hear more of it. He has a CD, Around the World and Bach. Get it on Amazon.com. Excellent. And if you decide you want to see Paul live and in person, you can see Mr. Moeller perform as a soloist with the Peabody Symphony Orchestra at the Peabody Conservatory on March 2nd.